He had opened over 50,000 locks in 30 years, but for 10 years, he couldn't gather the courage to knock on one single door. Every city has someone people trust when everything goes wrong. In this city, that man was Tariq. If a child locked themselves inside a room, people called Tariq. If an old family safe refused to open, people called Tariq. If every locksmith failed, people called Tariq. People used to smile and say, if Tariq can't open it, it was never meant to be opened. For 30 years, he opened impossible locks. But there was one door he passed every week without ever knocking. His son's, not because it was locked, because his pride was. Faisal had never loved keys. He loved colors. While Tariq carefully shaped metal keys inside his workshop, Faisal quietly filled sketchbooks with paintings. He dreamed of becoming an artist. Tariq dreamed of handing him the family business. Both loved each other, but neither understood the other. Then, one evening, everything broke. I sacrificed my whole life for this shop, Tariq shouted, and I'm grateful for every sacrifice, Faisal answered. But they're your dreams, not mine. The room fell silent. Then anger spoke louder than love. If you leave this house, Tariq yelled, don't ever come back. The words escaped in seconds, but would haunt him for years. That night, Faisal packed one suitcase, looked back one last time, and closed the front door. Neither of them knew it would remain emotionally closed for 10 years. At first, they exchanged calls, then messages, then birthday wishes, then nothing. Every morning, Tariq unlocked doors for strangers. Every evening, he returned to a home that felt emptier than the day before. His wife would quietly ask, have you spoken to him? He always answered, tomorrow. Tomorrow became next week. Next week became next year. Next year became 10 years. The workshop became famous. Awards covered the walls. Customers thanked him. Newspapers praised him. People admired the man who could repair anything. No one knew. The only thing he never repaired was his own family. Every evening, after closing the shop, he opened the same old drawer. Inside was a faded photograph, a smiling little boy holding a tiny toolbox, standing proudly beside his father, Tariq. Fair would stare at it for just a few seconds before quietly putting it away. Some memories hurt too much to hold for long. The bell above the shop door rang. A young man walked inside. Rain dripped from his jacket. At first, he looked like every other customer. Then Tariq looked into his eyes. Everything stopped. Faisal? His voice barely existed. His son looked older. His shoulders carried years of silence. My apartment lock is stuck, Faisal said softly. I moved back to the city. My landlord told me there's an old locksmith nearby. A painful smile crossed his face. I didn't know it was you. Silence filled the tiny shop. 10 years, standing between two people without saying a single word. Finally, Tariq reached for his old leather toolbox. I'll come. Rain tapped gently against the windshield. Neither man spoke. Some conversations become heavier the longer they're postponed. When they reached the apartment, Tariq knelt beside the broken lock. His hands moved automatically. 30 years of experience, every movement familiar. Behind him, Faisal watched quietly. Then he spoke. You know, you've always been good at fixing broken locks. A long silence. But when Mom got sick, I begged her to call you. Another. Hey, silence. Your father is too proud to make the first move." Tariq stopped breathing. Faisal continued. "When she died, I waited outside the funeral hall. I kept looking at every car, hoping you'd come." His voice cracked. "You never did." The screwdriver slipped from Tariq's trembling hand. Tears filled his eyes. "I came," he whispered. "I parked across the street. I watched from inside my car. I wanted to walk in, but I was ashamed. I thought you'd hate me." Faisal closed his eyes. "I never hated you. I just wanted my father." The hallway became silent. No tools moved. No words came. Only years, finally breaking apart. Tariq whispered, "I'm sorry." They're the two words I should have said 10 years ago. At that exact moment, the lock clicked. The apartment door slowly opened. Neither man looked at it, because another door had already opened first. Faisal wiped away a tear. "I became a painter. I've held exhibitions. I teach children every weekend. I always imagined what it would feel like if my father stood in the front row." Tariq couldn't stop crying. "I missed 10 years. I can't get them back. But if there's still time, I don't want to miss another day." For the first time in 10 years, Faisal smiled. Not a big smile, just enough to heal something broken. He stepped aside. "Come in. I'll make tea. You tell me about 30 years of locks, and I'll tell you about 10 years of paintings." That afternoon, the greatest locksmith in the city finally opened the only door he had feared for 10 long years. He entered carrying the same worn toolbox, but this time, the most powerful tool inside it wasn't made of steel. It was humility, because locks made of metal can be opened with skill, but the locks built from pride, regret, and silence can only be opened by love, by forgiveness, and by having the courage to knock before it's too late.